Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make a simple calculator which can calculate the sum of two numbers. The concepts we'll be learning is how to use variables, how to get user input, how to create your own function, how to use mathematical operators, and how to show output to the user. Okay, so let's begin. So first let's start with variables. So variables, they are basically like a box that can store values. So we'll be naming our one sum. So sum is a variable. Now to make sure that Python knows it's a variable, you don't need to put anything before it, but you have to put an equal to and the value you want in front of it. Now you could just say what you would normally think to say is input. Then you could, if you wanted input, you could just say input. But this thing is not enough because it only returns a string from what the person does. So you need to write int before it and put that in brackets. The input also has its own brackets. So we'll just be giving it some brackets too. And now, to make sure that it can ask us the question, we put double quotes, and then you can write whatever your question wants to be. My one will be, please enter number 1. Okay, enter first number. Now you could do the same for the second. This will be called sum1. This will be used to add the second number. Input. As you remember, this inputs the value from the user. Then you can say, please enter the second number. We can just test this as well. So please enter first number 9, second number 10. As you can see, it asked us the questions we made. Now, this doesn't do anything, it just asks us a number. So we need to make a function. Now functions, they take a value in and do something inside themselves and give you the output. In our case, it will be adding these two variables. So we just, to define a function, you literally say def, which stands for define. Then you click and spacebar and add. And then you have round brackets, and you can put two parameters. So parameters are what the function has to pass through. So the variables will represent our parameters. However, we won't name them the same as our variables. I'll tell you why in a bit. So now we've done this. To really make it a function, we have to put a colon. Without this, it doesn't classify as a function. Now let's put what we are going to write, sums. So this is a new variable we're creating inside the function. This will add s1 and s2. Now remember, this is completely separate right now from these two. So don't write these parameters. S1 plus S2. Now we click the enter, and remember, always have a tab between your function. Otherwise, Python thinks that it's outside the function and not inside the function. Now let's say return sums. Okay, so return sums. So sums, it will, like it says here, it returns the answer to it. And so now so this will basically be the print almost, but it isn't yet. return sums, it just writes it into the console so that we get our answer. Now we come to the part where I'll tell you why we made two new parameters, S1 and S2. But to find out, we need to first make a variable called total. Total is the answer of basically our calculator's input and output. Now we have total equal to, and we say add. So add, as you remember, is the name of our function. So this represents the function. It basically calls the function. We say sum1. Now you see that these are the variables we mentioned above, right? So basically what we did is we parsed or put in those parameters into this function, and this now you can just imagine this as being sum1 or sum and sum1. So sum plus sum1 return sums. Total equals to add sums and sum1. So once you have this total, that means that you can put it into a print. To make it look nice, we'll just be adding a little touch of Sterix to make a kind of box around it. So let's see, a few Sterix. You can try out as many as you want. Print, and remember, always in the print, put these. Now, this is where we're going to learn about how to change different values from strings to numbers. So numbers, so these are, as you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And letters are just like these strings I've made. Now when you get the input, it takes it as a string, which Python cannot understand because how can a number be in a string? So we need to change that to int. Int is number, it stands for. So basically what happens is it changes it to a number, then Python can take that number. Okay, so now that we've understood that, let's move on to making our print the answer. So right now we'll be putting a steric, just like the one we put above, but only one this time. The answer is, now we have put the space so that it will have some space between the answer and will not just appear right in front of the colon. Now we click plus, str, total. Now you are thinking, what is str? str is string, and string is basically the same thing as this. Please enter first number, please enter second number. So strings, these are converting the numbers into strings so that it can add these strings together. So whatever the number is, it will always be able to display it through this method. Now we put total in so that it tells the total of the answer. So basically it takes the answer from the def, the function we made, add, and it gives the answer in a variable. Now we add one more string called in colons we write it, and we just put a few spaces and a steric. You can try this out later to see how it will work. Okay, so please enter first number. Let's see, 9. Let's say 10. 19! Yay, it worked! Now we can just remove a few spaces there. See if that will help the outside steric work. So you can do this through trial and error. Okay. 1, 2, 3. That should work. 9, 10. Yay! Now it works. Now we just need to copy this. Just copy, you can use Control-C, or if you're on a Mac, Command-C and Command-V or Control-V, or you could just right click and copy and paste through that will also work. And now you can enter whatever number you like. We can go for 14. Let's say -9. Well, I'm now just tricking it, but let's see if it works. 5. So as you can see, it did actually do the add. But another example could be just 5, 6, 11. You can put as many numbers as you want to try this out. Okay, see you in the next video where we are going to do subtraction in this. Okay, see you then. Bye!